Hello, and welcome to episode 7 of How Do I Lead Now? In this episode, we're going to talk about the difference between setting goals and intentions. When we think about goals, we think about measurable outcomes that are going to happen over a short period of time. So, how many sales are we going to have? Or what will our production be for the next month? And goals are fantastic when we've got really well-defined outcomes that we are looking to attain. Where goals really fall down and do not serve us well is when we've got really much more complex issues or opportunities that we want to and need to address, but we're not totally sure what the right answer is or what the outcome is going to be. That's going to be most valuable to us, that we actually kind of need to explore and discover what that's going to be. And given just the complexity of the issues that we're facing right now, I think leaning more towards setting intentions as outcomes can be really a valuable way to lead and to help focus the time and intention of ourselves and our people and our organizations. So, a really good intention has two qualities as far as I'm concerned. It's got the what and the why. So, what is the outcome that we're looking to attain broadly? And really importantly, why does that matter? All right, because these two things kind of speak both to head and heart and hopefully create a tension that leads us into some exploration. So, a well set intention is going to have us ask and answer some really important questions, potentially maybe need to build some skills to be able to learn, and lead to iterative learning. So we'll try some things, learn from what happens, and then try again until we have some behavioral outcomes that we can point to that say we have met the intention. So, a big one right now might be our intention to discover and address how we are institutionally engaging in racist behaviors so that we can create a culture that is no longer promoting racism, that promotes equality and opportunity for all. That could be a really solid intention that's going to lead us on an exploration of learning. We should be able to articulate and point towards very specific behaviors and outcomes that come as a result of setting that intention, but we're not quite sure what they are just yet. But we will, as part of our exploration, be able to point to what they are and why they matter when we have attained that intention. That's the power of an intention, is it leads us in a direction that matters together, but facilitates our learning with and from each other as a result. Let me give you a really a little tighter example that might be more relevant for you personally right now. It's to get the intention or the idea of how intentions work. As an executive coach, when I work with people, rather than set specific goals, as in here's the number of sales you'll get or any other kind of specific outcome, I really like to focus on intentions. So, and again, with a specific outcome in an articulation of why it matters, and then the coaching is really on how will we make that happen. So if I was working with maybe a leader who has the intention of preparing to take on more responsibility in maybe a more complex environment, one of the intentions of our coaching might be to develop that person's influencing capabilities outside of their current network. All right, so can you hear our intention is that they are going to become more influential or better able to foster influence in beyond a network that they are familiar with, and the intention is to prepare them to potentially take on greater leadership. That's a nice, clear intention. It's going to have us asking and answering some really interesting questions, like what's kept the person from doing that so far? What skills might they need to develop to feel more comfortable in that space? And I'm going to be able to, and they are going to be able to, at the end of our coaching, be able to articulate how they've attained that outcome, because they will have achieved something, whether it was a project where they had to really demonstrate influencing skills that they can point towards, not only how they use those skills and develop them, but the outcome as a result of having learned to use them. Or it could be leading a committee. We might not know when we set the intention how we are going to actually achieve it, but it is in the questions that trying to attain that outcome that the real magic happens, that where the learning happens. So intentions really excellent for more complex outcomes. Again, you want to measure or a balance between what are we trying to achieve and why does it matter, and really explore the how as part of achieving that outcome. And that is where the learning really happens. So I hope that this week you will explore, maybe take a look at the difference between how you're setting goals and where maybe an intention might be a more valuable way of focusing time and intention. And I hope that you will actually go ahead and set an intention, either for yourself or for your team or maybe for your division, and explore how they work and how you're going to actually use that as a shared learning process that leads to some more complex but truly meaningful outcomes. As always, share with me what you've learned, what you experience as a result of the work that you're doing, and any questions that might arise. Would love to hear from you on any of those fronts. And use whatever you're sharing with me as exploration for further episodes. So I hope you have a fantastic week. I hope that you have fun exploring intentions, and I hope that you'll tune in next week when we're going to take a look at how to really explore in greater depth how other people, particularly people who are different than you, see the world. So I'll look forward to talking with you then. Until then, take care.